Hello? Hello, hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Can you all hear me? I can't imagine why you wouldn't be able to. Can you all hear me? I'm so used to doing like video game streams that when we got started, when I was like getting set up beforehand, I started plugging in the Switch and stuff, and I was like, oh, but I gotta make sure I have room for my mouse so I can do all the clicking stuff. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't even need the Switch to be turned on right now. Hello. So hello. I'm super excited. So we're gonna be playing this. It's Prot of Mantle, Protector of Mantle. I tweeted about it on Twitter, but Twitter's so horrible. I wouldn't be surprised if you like don't like it's not one of your usual haunts anymore. But it's this really fun game where it'll show us a screenshot of a moment from RWBY. And since I've played, they've also included Ruby Chibi. I'm not going to include Ruby Chibi because I don't know enough of it to like do any. I would immediately fail the moment a Ruby Chibi one pops up. But you get a screenshot and then you need to guess which episode it's from. And I think it's super fun. I think it's great. I had a great time. The day it came out, I wanted to get to 100, and I did. Critter Blue Sky? I'm already on Blue Sky, actually. It's Judgmental Critter. No space between them, and I don't think anything's capitalized, but I don't remember exactly. But yeah, I'm already on Blue Sky. Which reminds me, I'm working on making everyone's chibis from the OC Animation Challenge. I'm still working on that, slowly but surely. When I'm gonna email them individually to everybody as well, but if you also want to see them, I will be posting them only to Blue Sky, not onto Twitter, because Twitter's doing AI stuff with art, and I don't like that. Good luck. Oh, is Protector of Mantle here? Thank you. I'm gonna have fun. I don't know if I can beat my original score of 100, but I'll try. You know, the last time I did, I got to like 96. so yeah, we'll try. And so yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's start. Do I have main show? Yep, 5 lives. Start. Easy. Right on the get-go. Ruby Rose. Alright, this is gonna be, it's gonna be hard not to like, just like not talk or be interesting and not just be like, I know what this one's from. So, it'll be nice chill vibes. So, let's do this. Do I consider myself a RWBY nerd? A RWBY background nerd? Or is it just RWBY nerd? Yes. 1,000,000%. So this is volume 2. From what I did before, I struggled the most with volume 8, just because I couldn't remember the names of the episodes. That was the thing I was struggling with the most. Yeah, this is Field Trip. Yeah. Alright, this is the first episode of volume 4. Because that's the only time they ever fight Petrogaigus like that. That's the end of... Oh, wow, thanks, crying on the toilet. Tried out RWBYGuesser yesterday. Well, I should have been working, lol. Not gonna lie, the volumes 5/9 images kicked your ass. Understandable. 9 can be tricky. I think I'm good with 5, because... It's, like, not only am I currently going through, like, the Volume 5 reviews right now, but also, I've spent a lot of time reviewing Volume 5. Yeah, Volume 8 was the one that I've been struggling with the most, based off of past experiences, but we'll see. Yeah, this is Volume 4. It's at the end of a much-needed talk. Yep. Ooh. Yeah, see, this is a volume 8 one. I think it's volume 8, episode 2. It's when they're infiltrating Amity. It's like RWBY's team infiltrating Amity. Is it 2 or 3? Oh, it's 3. It's strings. Because that's the thing. I like the names of the episodes. If ever I'm like, oh, it's one of this or one of that. It's one of these two. The volume 8 episode titles don't help me a lot. That's Shining Beacon. Oh, another one is the parts 1 and parts 2 of volume 1. Like, you'll see how, like, it's first step, part 2. Because that is technically how, like, they're categorized, so I understand. But I always lump the 2 episodes halves together. So being like, oh, which half did this event happen? This is the first episode of volume 8. That's the Perils of Paper Houses down here. Boom. That's volume 5. Episode Alone Together. Boom. That's the end of volume 3. End of the beginning. Boom. That's the volume 4 character short. Volume 5 character short. Weiss's. Bam. Boom. This is volume 8. Let's see. Is it Creation? I think it's Creation. It's Creation or Worthy? I think it's Creation. Right, this is episode 3 of volume 9. Rude, Red, and Royal. I don't remember the names of most of the episodes, like, off the top of my head. Yeah, there's the trailers, too. Hey, Critter, who would you main in a fighting game? In a RWBY fighting game? If, like, all characters ever are involved, I would go for, like, the villains first. Like, probably Tyrion. I want someone fast. My usual fighting game style involves, like, a lot of speed. Like, in, like, Smash Bros, my main is Captain Falcon, you know, so someone really fast, spammy, and can get out of there really quickly. So, I would start to try to go with characters I liked. Like I would start with, like, villains. I would check out Coco, but I bet she would be a heavy, so it wouldn't work very well for me. I would try to avoid characters that I wouldn't like, even if they might fit the style I prefer. Alright, this is the end, or the beginning. End. That's the end of the episode 2, volume 2, episode Field Trip. That's the very end. There's a similar shot at the beginning of episode 9, but Weiss's face is different, and that's how you can tell them apart. That's volume 3. It's a very boring episode, actually. It's an easy to forget episode. Lessons learned. Bam. That's also volume 2. I think it's the same episode, actually. I think it's also Field Trip. It's after RWBY talks with them about what she saw with Cinder during the dance. I'm so excited for when I get to Reversed Fates with volume 2. Oh my goodness, the dance is going to be the most fun. I cannot wait. This is during the Atom fight. In volume 6, Seeing Red. Yeah, Seeing Red. Bam. Oh, by the way, I have a monster. I always drink Monsters when I stream. I usually drink zero sugar Monsters because I drink a lot of Monsters. And I'm trying to be at least a little bit healthy. But I goofed up this week and I accidentally got a normal case of not zero sugar, like the normal Monsters. Normal Monster with a normal amount of sugar. And so I might be a little bit more hyper than usual. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. This is, it's the worst episode of Volume 9, the one when they're dicking around with the caterpillar. I got it wrong! Oh, I did get it wrong. I just typed in the wrong name, dang. This volume. I got the answer. I had the answer right, but I clicked the wrong episode. I clicked Confessions in Cumulonimbus Clouds. That's the wrong one. I should have gone with The Cat Most Curious. The Seas were... It's because the clouds and stuff. I know where I goofed up. It's a shame. Oh well. Thanks, Excalibur. So when's Volume 9 of Reversed Fates? If I make it to... it probably, the whole thing probably won't be 9 volumes long. I can't imagine the story stretching out 9 volumes. This is volume 1. Badge and Burden Part 2. That's the one I got wrong. The one I got wrong just now from volume 9. I can fix my mistakes. Bam. Boom. This is also volume 9. It's episode 2. See, a lot of it is like, I remember what events happen per episode. And it's a lot of, like, while editing, trying to, like, keep stuff in order. So when you're editing and you reference a scene, you can remember what happens per episode so you can find that scene faster. So that's how my brain makes it work. This is episode 8, or volume 8, episode... Oh, man. I think it's Witch. Ultimatum? Witch. Yes. Did I get it right? I did. Haha! That's volume 5. It's a surprising episode, because it, like... I'm pretty sure it's, True Colors. Yeah. True Colors. First episode of volume 3. Man, I really wanted the Emerald and Mercury stuff, the faux friendship, to really go somewhere. Oh well. That's volume 6. That's the stupid episode with the giant Pyrrhus statue. What is it called? Lost. Lost? Lost. That's volume 1. Down here, it is The Stray. That's the first episode of volume 3. Boom, bam. This is, I think it's episode 3 of volume 8. No. 2. 2? Yes. 2. 2. Alright, first episode of volume 9. Volume 9 I think is kind of easy because something so wildly different happens in each episode. Like, if you remember, like, episode 1 is when they're on the beach and stuff. Episode 2 is when they're at the auction. Episode 3 is when they're doing the chess match. Like, it's wildly different. It's just remembering what order they all go in, you know? Bam, bam. That's volume 3. PvP. It's at the end. That's volume 1. Oh no. Part 1 or 2? Part 1 or part 2? I think it's part 1. Haha, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Alrighty. This is during the Clover... Clover fight. It's in volume 8. 7. Is it... Yeah. With friends like these. Yep. That's Kurayuri. Volume 4. Bam, bam. That's the second to last episode of volume 5. I can remember, so that's the thing, I don't remember necessarily, like, the number, but I remember, like, Raven, sees it in the second to last episode, because the last episode is her just talking to Yang, you know? That's volume 2, episode 2. Is it really called that? It's called the Welcome to Beacon. The Best Day Ever and then Welcome to Beacon? What was this one called? The Shining Beacon. Man, the episode titles are not always amazing, especially in early RWBY. Yeah, welcome to Beacon. I got it wrong. Which one was it? A minor hiccup. That was a minor hiccup? Oh, that's right, because they have to, like, that's at the end of the second episode, isn't it? Ugh, dang. I'll have to rewatch all of RWBY all over again, I guess. That's Volume 5. It's the first episode of the finale, so it's more the merrier. That's versus the Nevermore. It's Players and Pieces. That's part 1 of Jaundice. That's the end of A Much Needed Talk in Volume 4. There we go. Because it's when Ilya's, like, leaving. It's like when we first ever see Ilya, but, like, Blake isn't chasing her down yet, because she doesn't jump in front of the moon like this during 2 Steps Forward, 2 Steps Back. That's the end of another episode. It's the one when Ironwood, like, goes crazy and stuff. Oh, is it Gravity? I think it's Gravity. Alright, that's Badge and Burden Part 2. It's at the end of the episode. This is, again, that episode where it's lost, where they stand around and they look at the Pyrrha statue. These ones are kind of tricky, I get it. Because, like, Emerald and Mercury, even if you remember the scene happens in Volume 6, what random stupid episode is it where Emerald and Mercury dick around and not do anything? Like, it happens, nothing, the placement of the episode barely affects anything around it. So remembering which episode it's going to take place in is impossible. The only reason I remember is because so much nothing happens in this episode. Yeah, that's... Oh, Volume 7. This was a good shot. I wish they played around with camera angles like this more. Like, we have these 3D models. Let's get low. Let's get crazy. Let's do crazy spins and stuff. Might as well, right? What is it? So, not this one. Oh, man. Oh, man. As above, so below, or out in the open? Do I have a Halloween costume, Critter? I don't. I don't, technically. Physically, in real life? No, I do not. I was thinking about getting one, but not to use as a Halloween costume. I want to get a dress, so one day, when I go to Ren Fair, I'll have a pretty dress. As for, digitally, I don't know, maybe I have something planned for Halloween. Maybe. You'll have to wait and see. Okay, which one? Oh, man. I think it's out in the open. It was remembering that at the end of As Above, So Below, they're still, standing around chatting with each other. Oh, yeah, and that's at the very end, that's when we find out that Neo is disguising herself as, a maid. Which, seeing the villains infiltrate places sounds like a much more interesting story than the story of the main heroes sitting around not realizing they're being infiltrated. Alright, this is the end of Volume 2. Is it the second to last episode, or is it the last episode? Is it after they, burst through? I think it's no breaks. I'll go with no breaks. Haha, it's because I don't remember seeing any civilians during the last episode. That's Alone Together. Nope. Volume 4, where are you? There you are. Am I wrong? Is that not what it's called? No, it is called. Volume 5. Alone Together. Where am I? There you are. Oh. That's Weiss's character short. The character shorts are easy because they look really nice and like stand out. Yeah. Nice. Stay hydrated, everybody. Volume 7, Episode 2. It's called A New Approach. Again, these episode titles are terrible. Okay, so we'll see with Volume 8 here. They all have one-word titles for their episodes, except for the last episode. It was called The Final Word. Get it? A neat concept, but I wish they would have been, like, doing that from the very beginning, you know? That's the end of the Jaundice episodes. No, Forever Fall. Yes. Forever Fall Part 2. That's, Volume 3. Oh, it's right after Never Miss a Beat. Fall. I remember because it's like it's such weird pacing that we have such a goofy, lighthearted episode with the funky fight, and then the immediate next episode is like the beginning of the real plot. And it's like weird pacing, you know, just whatever. This is the Yang character short from Volume 5. Bam. That's again from Volume 2. They do repeat after a while. Da da da. Field trip. Oh. This is right after Penny was framed for Tyrion's attack at Robin's rally. Da 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 da. Worst case scenario. There we go. Oh, this one tripped me up before, because I don't remember exactly. It's Volume 3, but when does she discover Penny's coordinates? Oh, Is it, no, is it Lessons Learned? Or I'm gonna go with Lessons Learned. I don't necessarily think it's right, but I think it's more right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lessons Learned. Yeah, I got it wrong. Let's see what the real answer was. Never Miss a Beat. Ah, dang it. Oh, that's right. And then a transition. Ah, man. Shucks. Well, now I know for next time. Hello, Lord Vader. Alrighty. This is Volume 9. It's when they're in the market parfait predicament. What the hell am I looking at? I don't understand. What am I looking at? What is this? Oh, is it Cinder fighting Ozpin? I think it's Cinder fighting Ozpin. It's the fall. It's the fall. Like when... I think it's the cave screen. Looks like the fall at the end of episode 8. Oh, when like Blake and Ruby fall? Oh, maybe that's what it is. Let's try that. I'll trust you all. Oh, which episode do they fall in though? Oh... Final Word? Do they follow the Final Word? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Blake and Ruby falling. Oh, that's a tricky one. That's a super sneaky, tricky one. Who chose the thumbnail for what? These questions? Or me with my stream? I did. I made the thumbnail. Now this is Alone Together again. Nope. Every time I see Alone in the Woods and I think that's it. Alone Together. Bam. That's Jaundice Part 2. Terrible title, by the way. Jaundice. Like, why? Why is it called Jaundice? Like, I know he's named Jean because they were like, we need to do a color thing. And they thought about naming him Jean, like blue jeans. And then, but they wanted to do this yellow thing. And I think it was Bernie who suggested doing something with jaundice. And jaundice is a condition. It is a disease, I think. Or, yeah, I think it's some sort of sickness that ails you, where one of the symptoms is it has a bit of a yellowing of the skin. But it makes no sense for these episodes to be called that, other than he was very loosely named after the word jaundice. So, like, it's memorable. I'll give them that. It's a memorable title for an episode, but makes no sense, actually. This is right before they do the lame Ironwood fight. Oh, it's an episode 8 one. Oh, I think it's Creation. That's volume 5. It's the second episode of volume 5's finale. Because volume 5 has 4 episodes for its finale, so you find the 4th episode and you count backwards. Vault of the Spring Maiden. There we go. Boom. The Red, Rude, and Royal. There we are. Ugh. You can recognize your least favorite episode in a heartbeat. I was so amazed how many comments I got from, because I'm going through reviewing volume 5. I got so many comments being like, I don't think Rest and Resolutions is that bad. And I'm like, I'm happy for you. It's literally my least favorite episode of the whole show. There's so many things I hate about it. Something I've been thinking about. I hate the backgrounds in RWBY. Because, like, they're technically fine. Technically, if these characters weren't sitting here, this would look lovely. They have a lot of plants in RWBY, like, in the background, like that bamboo, for some reason. I don't know who would put bamboo stalks behind their couch that's sitting in the middle of the room, I guess. They do that. It looks lovely, but it doesn't match the style of any of the characters. You know? Like, the locations, the settings, the rooms, the buildings in RWBY don't match the aesthetic of the characters, and it's weird. It's weird. That's the first episode of Volume 8, Divide. It's when they're doing their machinations and everyone poses and stuff. Poor Mercury. Always stuck. Like, they could have gotten rid of the chair. They could have gotten rid of the chair for this shot. Or could have just moved everyone over slightly. Poor Mercury is always shafted. Right, that's the end of the bee fight episode. It's episode 2 of volume 5. Dread in the air. Bam. Oh. This one might stump me. So I know it's volume 8, but which episode? He's beat up so often. Oh, man. Oh, man. I know it's before Witch. It's between Amity and Witch. But which one do I think it is? Oh, man. Golly gee. He's on the floor, so he's not been strung up yet. Must be talking to Hazel. Or, yeah, he's talking to Ozpin right here. Hazel will show up, and then Salem will announce that she's doing, like, her evil things and has, like, promoted Mercury. So it's before midnight. I'll go with Amity. Ah, damn. Which one was it? Let's see. It was midnight. Oh, it's at the end of midnight. That's right, because Cinder does her whole, like, arm thing. Shucks. So close. So close yet so far. That's Red, Root, and Royal again. Bam. Bam. That's the first episode of Volume 7, because this is the only time we see the inside of this, like, building that Pietro has. They do that so often. They'll spend so much time. You can see they spend a lot of time modeling this room. There's so many bits and bops and details, like, all around it. They don't spend any time here. Why do they do that? Why do they spend so much time on locations we don't spend any time in? And then all the locations we do spend a bunch of time in, it's nothing. I know, one life left, and now I'm gonna end up bumbling it on something stupid. That's the last episode of Volume 2. Da-da-da. Breach. Bam. That's the first episode of Volume 2. Best day ever. Bam. We've gotten this one like 3 times. 3 or 4 times. Alone Together. Bam. First episode of Volume 3, because that's the only time we see Team Auburn, unfortunately. Even though they're so cool. They look so cool. Boom. That's the second episode of Volume 4. Because they're remembering the town Jean visited. I never thought about that until I was writing my script for the daily reviews. Is that Jean should have way more of a reaction to seeing this town destroyed. Like, he's upset. He is upset, clearly. He gets all sad and stuff. But, like, if there was a town I had visited kind of regularly with my family growing up, and then I showed up one day and it was completely destroyed, I would be a lot more shaken than Jean is. And I think that's something with the show, is not only does Jean not have much of a reaction, like, I could believe that Jean is the kind of person who's trying to, like push it down and hide those thoughts. I could believe that, you know, especially with how we see him towards the end of the episode with Pyrrha and stuff. But they don't talk about it ever. I would love it if the characters sat there and actually reflected on the things that they see, and not in just a, let's tell the audience about the stuff we saw, just repeating the facts of the visuals. I would love to see them emotionally dwell on these things more. And I think that's something the writers continually goofed up, is that they'll talk about knowing things, but not how they feel about it. Thanks, Stereotypical Gamer. The quiz ships Reading Rainbow. Yeah, because it keeps showing us that thing with Ilya and Blake. Reading Rainbow's not bad. It's crazy. Any character I do ship Blake with is not Yang. Every other ship for Blake seems more interesting. And I don't know if maybe it's just because, like, I'm rather bored of Bumblebee, because it's so big, you see it so often. You know, it's so popular, it shows up a lot. But man, every other Blake ship is just much more interesting in my mind. Alright, this is Volume 2, during that scene where he just, like, fights Pyrrha a little bit, and it was weird. It was weird. Extracurricular. It was weird. Like, the whole thing around the scene was weird. You know? Like, her fighting Team Cardinal, and then Glinda being like, no, she just fought somebody. You can't fight her again. It's like, why did she fight the whole team? Why didn't we see the rest of Juniper fighting? Like, I think it was just an excuse because someone wanted to animate Pyrrha being cool, and I get that. But, like, I don't know. Weird. Like, if Glinda had said the rest of her team was, like, knocked out earlier in the fight, but I don't think they wanted to do that because that would imply that Team Cardinal was able to best Ren, Jean, and Nora somehow. And they don't want to do that, because they definitely aren't that good. This was something I was thinking about with a comment I got today, with talking about RWBY and RWBY's adversaries. Like, Cinder and Raven versus RWBY. I was thinking about, we didn't see Emerald get to fight Raven's bandits, and it's because they didn't want to imply either of them could be weaker than the other. Because they want everyone to be kind of threatening-ish, so then they're kind of on the same wavelength as each other, battle-wise, so then it doesn't feel one-sided when they fight later on. But because of that, because they're afraid of having people lose every now and then, or to imply someone has more strength than someone else, that just means everyone feels flaccid, power-scaling-wise, with RWBY. Like, trying to power scale in RWBY would be so difficult. It'd be a nightmare. Because everyone is just as strong or as weak as they need to be to excuse whatever plot point needs to happen. Thanks, JK! I hope you are well. I remember you criticizing how Team RWBY handles heroism. So do you think if they could have saved the cat from Neo, should they have tried to or nah? Or do more to change Neo's ways? Okay. Okay. I don't think, trying to save the cat from Neo was an option. I don't, even if they wanted to, I don't think they should have. I don't know. They really just kind of fought them until they stopped and they could move forward, huh? I think it's dumb. It's not so much I don't mind Neo's addition to beating the cat. I think it makes more sense that Neo was the one to kill the cat. That seems much more up her alley. And I understand why Team RWBY didn't throw themselves in the middle of her Jabberwockers to save the cat. But I don't like how they tried to, make Neo kind of a good guy at the end there, where they're oh, and now we understand each other, and she, gives them, a bow before jumping into the tree. Neo's whole character arc in Volume 9 feels like it's missing huge, important elements from it, you know? We should have really seen a lot more of what Neo was personally going through, and they, didn't. I guess they just forgot. Or something. Ha 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 ha, we're on the funny number. Ha 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 ha. It won't last long. We're on, Forever Fall Part 2. Bam. Bam. That's the last episode of Volume 1. Black and White. Bam. That's the second episode of Volume 6. No. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Haha. We just got this one. Last episode of Volume 1 again. Bam. Boom. Oh, this is lessons learned. I remember, because it's such a weird spot for this fight to take place in. Thank you, M3D! Yet another missed opportunity. RWBY and Jean could have had parallel arcs about what it means to be a leader, unhealthy emotional regulation, etc. That could have been, a really prominent element throughout the whole of the show, honestly. You know? That could have been, a thing they continually had. Because, when we introduce the team system and we have leaders, you'd think, the leaders naturally would be comparing themselves to each other, and that would be just, a natural story progression kind of thing. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they wanted to do. I don't know what plans they had. They have so many great options, and it all just turned into missed opportunities in the long run, which is crazy. This is Volume 6. It's Before Lost, Dead End. Boom. Thanks, Marie! Hi, Marie! I really shipped Black Sun, but I kind of realized Sun deserved someone who treats him better. You know what? Same. Samesies. It's a thing where it's I don't want to ship you with Blake because you deserve someone better than Blake. Which is crazy because he really just gave her everything. He did it all for her. You know, he really threw himself into helping her. Whether it was romantic or not, he really wanted to help. Such a shame. Such a shame. For Reversed Fates, I have someone in mind of who I want to ship Sun with. I don't know if anyone could guess it, but I'm very excited. I'm gonna be honest. I'm so in love with my Reversed Fates ships. But I can't tell you any of them because it would be spoilers. So I have to get to the dang dance episodes of Volume 2 already, so then you can see. Because I'm not gonna do a slow burn, because I think they're boring. Grim Reaper. Boom. It's Rude Red Royal again. A lot of good screenshots come from this episode, I will admit. Bam. Boom. Nice. This is the second to last episode of Volume 3. Second to last? Or third to last? I think it's second to last. No. Battle of Beacon. Third to last. Yeah. Yeah. Haha. That's the Yang character short. It's such an ugly. It just looks so ugly. When it's leather, when it's painted to be like leather texture, it's fine. Perfectly fine. I have the poster above my desk. Like, I'm staring directly at the poster. Like, the official poster of, like, the RWBY girls in their Volume 1 lined up RWBY. I'm looking at her. She looks lovely. It's so cute when it looks like leather. Here, it's so dang ugly. It's just an ugly shade of brown. This is the same thing. It's the same short. Yeah. Haha. That's the first episode of Volume 6. It's a good moment. This is a good screenshot. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I know. It's the end of... It's right before the apathy. When it does, like, when it, like, peeks out from underneath. Right before the credits start to roll. Da-da-da. Coming Storm. Ha 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 ha. This is the same one with that butterfly from Volume 6. Dead End. Boom. Oh, this is right before Perils of Paper Houses. Confessions. Yes. Yeah. Because I remember, like, she doesn't use it until the next episode, which is when the paper policers die. I hate the color brown critter. I think brown can be really lovely. It can work really well. Team Coffee is a testament to how well brown can work. But that shade, especially with Yang's design, does not work at all. Like, bleh, 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 yuck. If you're gonna use that shade of brown, I would use it in, like, not as prominently in the design, and I would pair it with other, like, coffee and vanilla-themed colors, and do, like, a dessert theme. With Yang, with her yellow hair, I just don't like it. Sonic Swice is also really good. It is. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's many bad Sun ships. It's because Sun really carries it. He's just a good guy. He's a cool dude. He's fun. He's goofy. He's fun. Wow. Dark? Dark. It's when the lights go out. Dark. Yes. Because the lights go out. I think it's dark. Haha! What about a terracotta brown? See, that would be lovely. I think that would super work. I think that would be really nice. I like a nice lighter, less saturated brown. You know? A nice desaturated, like, kind of brown. Because the yellow of her hair is so prominent, the more saturated colors feel like a lot visually. It's also, maybe if she was more tan, I think it might help a little bit. I don't know, something about it. It's just it just doesn't, ugh. I'm just not a fan. And I'm not a fan because I've seen how pretty she can look. Both, like, in the Volume 1 engine with her jacket, and, like, in every single concept art with her in that jacket. She looks great. So seeing her look so not great in the Yang character short just, kills me. It murders me. She was so pretty. Coco Brown looked good on Coco? Yes. 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 All true. This is extracurricular again. But, there you are. Oh, thanks, Philip. Just Yang had obvious PTSD. Ruby saw Pyrrha. What? Just Yang had obvious PTSD? Ruby saw Pyrrha? What are you referring to? like her shades of brown that she wears? About how ugly her shades of brown are? This is the first episode of Volume 5? Oh, is it the first episode or second episode? I think it's the first. Yeah. I think it's the first episode of Volume 5. If I get this wrong, then we know it was actually the second episode. I'm gonna say first, though. Oh my gosh. Oh, man. Crazy. I hope Fizz gives Oscar a better look. I do, too. I really do. Like, they all need to get new looks. It's all time. But especially Oscar. Like, he feels like such a, like, a forgotten extra in their own show, you know? Pyrrha unaliving critter. That's why her skull is there. Ruby saw Pyrrha die. I know, I understand that. Think they're referring to that Ruby should have PTSD too, since, oh, I see, I understand. Yeah, she should. She should. Like, all the characters should have reacted to, or have had some sort of emotional reaction to Pyrrha's death. And I remember for a while there, I really tried, like, headcanoning answers as to why. Like, Jean clearly is very, like, not handling the death well, but Ruby, Ren, and Nora don't really have much of a reaction. I was thinking of Team Ranger specifically, and I was like, Ruby's probably, like, learned to, like, bottle up her emotions because of Summer's death, and Ren and Nora have gone through so much, you know, with, like, the death of Kuro Yuri and everything, that they probably are just used to it. And, like, that's a nice headcanon. And I think a lot of the show works if you sit there and go, but you need this headcanon. It's not actually implied in the episodes or anything, but if you have this headcanon, it works a lot better. It makes more sense. But after a while, you can't expect everyone to just agree on your headcanons, you know? Emerald Forest Part 1 or 2? I think it's Part 1. I think it's Part 1? What happens in Part 2? What happens in Part 2? Yang and Blake make it to the ruins. Jean and Pyrrha enter the caves. Ruby and Weiss argue. Is that it? I think that's it. No? I think it's Part 1. We'll go with Part 1. Haha! Ha 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 ha! That's, the second to last episode of Volume 5. Downfall. Yeah. No. 'Cause Ruby woke up. Oh, yeah. No. No, I am wrong. It's not Downfall. I'm almost wrong. It's the one before Downfall. Hold on. It's the Vault of the Spring Maiden. Yeah. Yeah. I almost goofed that up. That's Ruby's character short. Zoom. Yeah, Volume 4 character short. Bam. It's such a dumb outfit. This whole sequence, like, it feels like it should have been much cooler than it actually was. Like, her, like, breaking in, she didn't need to knock out all those guards. She could have snuck in through a window. Nobody was in the room. It would have made less. She was also so obvious when she's jumping on the rooftops. It could have been something so cool. Thanks, M3D. What's sad is that her Volume 9 arc should have been over the whole series. After that night, her need to help Crow in Volume 4, help Mantle, it only makes sense. I agree because a part of me is like, Ruby's a really good character. Ruby Rose is a great character in Volume 9. In Volume 9, she's great. But then I, like, go back to Volume 5, and I see how, like, she does absolutely nothing substantial. Volumes 5 and 4, she doesn't do anything, but she's just kind of there, and annoying, and dumb, and lame, and things happen around her, and she has no ambition. And so, it sucks, because it's like, she was so good right at the end there. But you have this whole series of other characters getting the spotlight, and Ruby Rose begrudgingly is also there. and just happens to be the one who has to have important things happen around her, because her name is first in the title. Thanks again, Marie. You should do a Ruby shipping tier list. I should, actually. I'll, like, have you all suggest ships at me. But that won't happen for a while. Maybe we'll do that for Valentine's Day. That'd be fun. We've made it to 90s. We're in the 90s. This is Alone Together again. This is her note. Her silly little note. Nice. Good episode. Such a good episode. Great moment. 10 out of 10 episode. Oh my god. Volume 4. High highs and low lows, you know? Like, that's the thing. Like, the boring parts of Volume 4 are pretty bland, but the good parts are so dang good! Oh my god. Tipping Point. So great. Oh my god. Fantastic. Ugh, Volume 5. Volume 5 is the thing. I could never truly recommend RWBY to somebody. Because even if I sat there and went, you need to start with the trailers. And then I tell them, Volume 2 gets kind of meh. And then I tell them, Volume 1's animations is kind of rough at times. And then I tell them, Volume 4 has a lot of high highs, but also has a lot of low lows. Even if I get past all those, like, addendums that comes with recommending the show to someone, I get to Volume 5 and I'm like, and then it gets really, really bad. After, like, 2 episodes of being okay, but kind of rough around the edges, it gets to Volume 4 where it's pretty dang good, and then it gets to Volume 4 where it goes back to being rough around the edges because they changed to all these different things, and then it gets really, really bad. But if you get past this really bad part, it can get better until you get to Volume 8, but Volume 8's not nearly as bad as Volume 5. I was mentioning this, like, the other day, actually, or maybe it was last week, where someone was like, Volume 8's still worse than Volume 5. And if you think that, that's totally fine. I understand. I totally get where you're coming from. But I think Volume 5, because at least, like, things happen in Volume 8. Yeah, some of the things that happen are annoying, or don't make sense, but at least they happen. At least they move. At least they do things. In Volume 5, they sit around and waste oxygen for 14 episodes. Are we all Oscar fans here? Everyone should be an Oscar fan. Our poor little underappreciated boy. Which one is this? Perils of Paper Houses? Yes. Or Tea Amidst Terrible Trouble. Yes. Yeah. Haha! Nice. That's the end of the beginning. Or beginning of the end. The first one. Beginning of the end. Haha! Aw, thanks, Excalibur! If White Rose isn't in God tier, I'ma commit several war crimes across the world. Joking. White Rose, I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. I also think they're fine as just friends, but I do get it. I think it's because for both Weiss and RWBY, there are other ships I prefer, and I also like the very Banjo-Kazooie like, friendship where they're friends but they still argue with each other kind of deal. I think that's fun, but I do get it. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I keep seeing this thing on Twitter, and it makes sense, because it's for Halloween. It's a lot of, like, outfit swap stuff for RWBY characters, where it's like, oh, Blake and Yang in swapped outfits, or Yang and RWBY with swapped outfit, or whatever. And it's fun. It's a fun trend. I think it's really cool. I enjoy it. But I also think it's a little boring with RWBY characters specifically, because everybody looks so similar to each other with, like, height, especially in, like, current day RWBY, with, like, their most recent outfits, like, their height, body proportion, and skin tones are all so similar that it doesn't look like anything's different. It just looks like you pulled off one of your Barbie's heads and put it on one of your other Barbie's bodies. Like, it doesn't feel like a different body, it just feels like the head was swapped around, you know? Which is a bit of a shame. But, you know, that's RWBY. That's good old RWBY. Oh, which one is this? Burning the candle? No. Where am I? Minor hiccup. No. Yes. Haha. Oh, man. Oh, these Volume 8 ones. Ah, it's towards the end. Which one is it, though? Which one is it? Oh, man. It's before creation. Is it Risk? I think it's Risk. Oh, man. Let's go with Risk. Ha 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 ha. Right? This is also beginning of the end. Volume 3. I thought this was going to be a way bigger deal. I thought people were going to, like, remember Yang and have beef with her. And so it'd be like, if, like, you know in video games when sometimes you have, like, a morality system, or, like a meter of how much people like you, like in Pathologic, for example. I thought traveling with Yang was going to be a problem because people recognized her for being the one that maimed that boy, because the rest of the world doesn't know that he got robot legs. After we learned and after, like, the heroes learned, the rest of the world never knew that. So I thought for sure they were gonna be like, oh, she's the one, she's the monster, that's the blonde monster that hurt that one boy. But no, conveniently everyone just forgot. No one seems to recognize Team RWBY because of them being in a tournament that was, like, universally broadcast. Whatever. This is PvP. PvP. Bam. Boom. We made it to 100! Yahoo! Nice. This is not Players in Pieces. It's the one right before Players in Pieces. Emerald Forest Part 2. Wahoo! 101! Just like how many Dalmatians there are. So I'm still working, I mentioned it last time, I'm working on this really big Disney video. And I'm almost halfway done with it, which will be great. Anyway, just a lot of Disney stuff on my mind. Right, that's the first episode. That's, it's like the second to last episode of Volume 4. It's the one where nobody does anything. It's so dumb. Yeah, taking control. Who is? The audience? Do I take control when I hit skip on this episode? Yeah, taking control. Boom, bam. It's just such a filler episode. Half of Volume 4 feels like such filler, which is such a shame, because the rest of it feels so cool. I saw a thing. Did they really skip over Yang's, like, development with putting on her robot arm because they thought it was boring? Did they actually say that? I don't remember. I watched the Volume 4 director commentary so long ago, I can't remember. If you think First of all, if you write something and you think it's boring, rewrite it, motherfucker. Like, you have that control. If you're sitting there writing something and you're like, actually, this sucks, you grab the fucking eraser on the other end of your stupid pencil and write it again and fix it. Second, what makes you think it was boring? Then why'd you cut her arm off in the first place? Huh? Just cause? For shock value? If you didn't write it because you had a plan? A developmental plan for where she would go? No, you skipped it because you thought it was boring. Insane. Actually, crazy. I don't understand how this company stayed afloat for so long. Okay. This is Volume 3. It's right before PvP. The episode right before. Where is it? Destiny. Yes. And I remember because, like, Ruby talks to Velvet, and then she goes to the tournament and sees Emerald across the way. And I was like, it's weird, because I remember being, like, startled that we saw Ruby engaging with a character. And that it was Velvet, of all people. No, Critter, it's easier to skip anything we find boring. Let's go with the part people actually want. Like Blake and Yang kissing. Not only that, let's go with the part we actually want. For, like, Volume 4. Oh, so what was the part you actually wanted? The part where everyone sits around and doesn't move and talks to each other? They cut out Yang's development with her arm because it was boring, but they kept the entirety of Volume 5 perfectly the same as it is, and didn't think that had to get cut or rewritten. This is the last episode of Volume 3. Da-da-da. Bam. Bam. Do I think I'll get to 200? No. Absolutely not. I'm amazed I've made it this far. Oh man, this is Search and... no, Mountain Glen. Mountain Glen. Mountain Glen. Yes. Haha. Nice, that's Players and Pieces. It's such a good episode. Golly. It's such a good shot. Oh man. You see, like, these giant pops of color. It's so pretty. Man. That's more the merrier. Bam. Boom. That's the one. We just did it today. We just got to it today with our daily reviews. Oh. It's known by its song, right? No. What am I thinking? Which one? No. Alone Together. Not Alone Together. Perfect Storm. Perfect Storm! It's because, like, Vernal does a storm thing at one point in time. Volume 3, it's Lessons Learned. Boom. That's Jaundice Part 2. You know, they did such a good job with this. They established, like, Pyrrha and Jean training on the rooftop at night, and that was, like, a thing. That was, like, an established thing, and they do that. And I just wish that kind of thing could have been with more characters within the show. Just, like, implied casual spaces for them to hang out with each other. Right? Whatever. Let's see. This is Destiny. Dang. Not Destiny. Fall. Whoops. So close. 113. Not bad. Not bad, I say. Not enough yellow clickbait title episode. Not bad. Beat my score. My personal best. 100. Now 113. Hooray. Hurrah. Let's try again. Let's try one more time. And then once we fail this one, I'll be done. I just think it's so much fun. It's such a good... I live for this kind of thing. Thanks, Anton! I feel like how much someone likes Players and Pieces informs how much they are willing to let RWBY get away with. P&P is still one of my top 3 episodes, and I made excuses for this show for ages. Understandable. I don't think I've ever tried to, like, rank individual episodes, because it would be such a big task, right? Like, it's easier to, like, conceptualize or compartmentalize whole volumes rather than individual episodes. Especially because, like, I know so much of Volume 5 would rank the lowest. You're out. Bye, Axel. Have fun. No, I love this kind of thing. These kind of games are my favorite. It's like in Banjo-Kazooie, when you get to the Tower of Terror, or the Inferno Furnace of Fun, which, speaking of, Banjo-Tooie is available on the online expansion store thing today, which is great. I can't wait to play it. It's so good. I love it so much. But one of the Grunty's questions is always like, identify this scene, and she'll, like, show you a screenshot of, like, a weird obscure place in one of the levels, and you have to know which I just loved it. It's so good. I think it's so much fun. I live for this kind of thing. White's character short. Boom. Wouldn't it be funny if I got the first one wrong? That's Volume 3. It's lessons learned. This would really throw somebody, I think. Because it's such a different art style. That's a clever one. Boom. Bam. Aw, she's so fun. Remember how fun she was? She looks so fun. See, this is it. Like we were saying before, same kind of shade of brown. Like, it's in the same, like, area of brown, but it's much less saturated. This is a much more desaturated shade of the same color of brown. And it helps her other more saturated elements, like her oranges and yellows, pop a lot more. Color theory. First step. First step, part 2. First step, part 2. First step. Oh, man. Don't get it wrong on my third question. Okay, so Shining Beacon, they meet Jean. Shining Beacon part 2, they go to bed. First step, they get launched off the cliffside. Part 2, they land. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Nice. Yeah, this is also the episode we covered today, isn't it? Them doing their attack on the Belladonna mansion. Perfect Storm. Haha. Ugh, this episode's crazy. Like, I didn't know how to talk about it in my review. It's episode 3 of Volume 5. I didn't know how to, like, express this in my review. But it's like, it's so slow. It's wildly slow. It's so slowly animated. I can't understand. Like, every scene, every action is dragged out infinitely. And, like, they stop and they pose and then we just wait. We just linger on these shots for so long. Like not just 1 or 2 seconds too long where you kind of feel like the pacing's a little weird. Like, 10 seconds. Like, way too visibly long. And then they stand so still, and I don't know whose idea it was. Like, I feel like I could guess what happened, you know? Like Miles and Carrie was tired of all the complaints that you're hiding, because the World of Remnants came out during volumes 3 and 4. And everyone was like, you can't put all this important information in supplemental material. And so they're like, well, we need to put it in the show. So, and they, for some reason, thought the history of Sienna and Gira, like, who was in charge of the White Fang, was an important thing to put in the show, when it's not. And so they're like, we'll just have Gira talk about it. We'll get this voice actor who's really cool and everyone loves, and we'll get him just to babble about our dumb exposition that's not important. I really hope now that they're under Viz. Things like that doesn't happen. You know? Like, they have someone at the top to be like, no, this is bad, fix it. Like, they're not just surrounded by yes men anymore. Thank you again, M3D. Oh yeah, do you review OC character designs upon request? Not necessarily upon request, but if you, like, tweet at me, I'll tell you. I'll talk about it. I'll say what I like about your character. No, I'm never bothered if you send me character art and stuff. Like, you send me your OCs and whatnot. on Twitter. That does not bother me. I always think it's fun seeing what you all come up with. Which one? This is the bad episode. This is the one where the old men sit there and are, like, low-key sexist. Oh, which one is it? Family? I think it's Family. Yeah. Yeah, it's also the one where, like, Crow and Raven talk. Yeah, Family. Family only show up when they want something. Someone left a comment, it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing Raven says, because you could tell Miles and Carrie thought it was, like, such a good line. They're like, that's such a zinger of a line. It's in volume, it's when Raven says she's talking to Vernal, she says, Salem only uses people until they're no longer useful. And it's like, yeah. What do you mean? What do you think uses means? It's so not as good as they thought it was. Oh, hey, Teddy Bear Paladin. Hi. Happy Halloween season. Curse of Smurples upon you. Wow, I can't believe you smurpled. You came into my stream and cursed us all with Smurples. It's nice seeing you, Teddy Bear Paladin. Oh, what is this? Volume 8. It's before Penny crash lands in their front lawn, which I was so willing to forgive that, you know? Like, despite how convenient it is, I was willing to forgive it. But when does that happen? Midnight's when the lights go out. Amity. Oh, man. Is it Amity? No. Midnight's dark is when the lights go out. War. Midnight was her backstory episode. I think it's War. We'll go with War. War is the one I don't remember. Like, I don't remember what's, like, the main important thing. All the others, I can, like, remember a general synopsis. Like, Midnight, Cinder's backstory. Amity, that's when they get Amity Tower, like, the Coliseum up into the sky again. And then Penny falls. Dark, the lights go out, which they fight Salem. I don't remember what happens in War. I'm pretty sure it's the one where the Grimm do a reverse waterfall up into, like, the shields defending Atlas, but I don't remember for surezies, so I'm just gonna go with War. I got it right. Nice. This is volume 1. It's, right before Players and Pieces. Emerald Forest Part 2. Nice. Kuroyuri. Kuroyuri's easy. Because, like, oh, these characters or character models that we only see in the one episode, it's a pretty easy one to remember. Bam. This is the beginning of the attack on the Belladonna Mansion. You can tell because Gira still has his armor on, and then for some reason he takes it off once the fighting starts. And I think it's because they couldn't animate him very well with the armor on. But at that point, like, redesign him. This is another thing I was thinking about. I was thinking about how the character design seems, like, completely separated from the limitations of what their animation engine is capable of doing. And, like, someone should be in charge of that, right? Someone at Rooster Teeth should have been sitting there being like, oh, actually, no, we can't do this because it won't work with our animation engine. But I don't think anyone ever did. That's the last episode of Volume 8. The good old cliffhanger. The great big cliffhanger. The great big cool cliffhanger, and according to the epilogue, it got resolved immediately. Great. This one's the second episode of Volume 2. No. Yes. No? Why is it called Welcome to Beacon? That's so dumb. That's a terrible name. It's a bad name. I don't know who they're welcoming to Beacon. I guess the villains But that's a thing Ruby says in the second episode of the first volume. It's whatever. This is volume 3. This is when Yang explodes Mercury's leg. I always like describing it way more like insane than it actually is. This is when Yang made Mercury's entire leg atomize. Oh man, is it fall or beginning of the end? I think it's fall. Yeah, we'll go with fall. Dang, PvP. PvP. Oh, it was when Penny died. I guess they do that multiple times. Whoops. My bee. Oh well, similar. You knew what I was talking about. I was so close. So close. Jaundice Part 1. Part 2 of Jaundice is so boring. Both, they didn't need to be 2 parts. Like, Jaundice and Forever Fall did not need to be 2 parts. And it also meant we got a solid month of just Jean. It's so boring. It's so lame. Shining Beacon. Part 2. I remember because they go to bed after this. If you look at this scene, go back and rewatch this scene in this episode. The people in the crowd, every time they show like a crowd shot where you can see the people watching Ozpin and Glinda's little speech, the people in the crowd are tiny. Like, you can tell they didn't model the stage right, so the people in the crowd look like they're like up to like Ozpin's knees. Check it out. Go check it out. It's funny. You'll have a laugh. Nice. Good episode. Badge and the Burden Part 1. First episode. Cool. This is, when they're in the market, obviously. Parfait Predicament. Bam. Oh. At a glance, you would think this would be such a cool moment. And for like the 3 seconds it happened, I guess it was kind of cool, but not cool enough. One of these days I'll have to do like an analysis of the maiden fight, and I know it's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so dang much. Downfall. Thanks, JK. So which dynamic do you like more? Ruby and Torchwick's or Charlie's and Adam's from Has-Been? Oh, since both Adam and Torchwick are the first major villains who's oppose their ideals. I prefer Ruby and Torchwick just because they feel more like Team Rocket-y, you know? And I think that's more fun. I like the idea of their dynamic. Like, just, he is a run-of-the-mill thief, and she is a girl who wants to uphold the law. And then beyond them, there's even more evils and, like, depths to the law that they don't quite know about. Like, I think it's fun. I think they are fun. Charlie and Adam, I think, are cool, but in a different way. That's less like, it's more like, that lame coworker that you want to see them one up. It's like watching an episode of The Office, you know? Right? Both are neat, but for different reasons. But I prefer Ruby and Torchwick, personally. I think Torchwick really was one of the highlights of early RWBY. And with his death, a lot of things, like, I don't think he would have done much if he lived, because nobody does much in those middle volumes especially. But his death was like a big impact, I'm gonna say. Like, things went kind of noticeably downhill at that point. With the villains. In regards, like, in many regards, but specifically with the villains and their machinations, losing Torchwick really, like, meant something. We lost a lot of pizzazz. God. Blake just lying there. She got bumped. Like, that's the thing. Like, breaking aura, it doesn't matter. Because you can just, like, nudge slightly and you're on the floor. That's why I got rid of, aura with reverse fates. Because I'm like, sometimes I'm gonna want them to just, like, lay on the floor. And the moment you have aura, you can't do that. So, whatever. I got rid of aura. Who cares? I didn't want to have to keep track of everyone's aura and stuff, so... Oh, one thing that's going to be very exciting, is... Oh, who's my favorite Office character? It's, like, Jim is such an easy one to go with. I think it's Jim. Stanley's also really funny. Okay, Jim and Stanley. I'll have them be tied. So yeah, a fun thing that's gonna happen with Volume 2 of RWBY Reversed Fates, Dahlia, you especially are going to be excited to hear about this, is I'm working on giving characters who, in the show proper, don't have, like, official semblances, I'm working on giving them new semblances, and Tyrion's going to be one of them, and I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting. So now Tyrion's going to have, like, his weapons, his stinger, and also a semblance. And it's going to be so exciting, and I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Oh my goodness. I gotta work on it more. I just have so many other things I gotta do first. But I am excited. Volume 2 will be sooner rather than later, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm probably going to work on it a lot during December. I don't plan on much happening in December, just because December always tends to be a pretty meh month, like, views-wise. So, like, I'll just spend that time writing. What am I? This Volume 4. This is the final episode. Okay, so Jean got this, like, whole upgrade, right, with his sword, and first of all, he does it, and it seems like such a cool guy moment, and then he hits the horse once, it doesn't seem to even do much to it, and then immediately he gets, like, kicked in the face, and then we don't focus on his upgrade ever again, and then I don't think he uses the upgrade much in the future. The only time I can think of is he uses it against Cinder, which is a really dumb idea, because she's a speed-based character. You would want something to defend yourself because she's going to be faster than you. Whatever, he wasn't in the right headspace. But then I can't think of him using this, like greatsword mode very often. Like, he favors the shield. And it's like, why did he even get the upgrade? A lot of them. Like, Ruby's, like, pivoting scythe head, which I think was actually, like, a downgrade. Like, they don't, like, Yang's sticky bombs, like, they don't use their upgrades very often. And I'm like, why do we even bother? To, like, convince yourselves, the writers, that the characters are doing things and moving forward? Sorry, you gotta do a bit more than that. This is much needed talk. Oh, this one's so funny. She has no shadow on the, like their little airship thing. Shadows don't affect it. Like, whenever you see them standing on it, Neo also steps on it at one point in time, like when she's talking. When Cinder's talking at Neo, Neo steps on it, they don't cast a shadow on it, and once you notice it, it's incredibly distracting. Anyway, this is Amity. Da-da-da. There you are. Boom. Ugh. Bluck. Ugh. Duh. We're almost we're almost here with my daily reviews. Just you wait. Also, the episodes get longer. The daily review episodes, they get longer once we get here. Oh, it's more the merrier. There you are. Nice. This is when Blake and Yang kiss each other. Boom. This is the one and only time, the single time Oscar and Blake ever interact with each other. They do not speak to each other ever again at any other point in time in the entirety of the whole show. This is it. What is Oscar and Blake's ship name? Hold on. I bet it's something funny. Let me look it up. RWBY ship chart. Let's see. Blake? Okay, yeah, Blake with RWBY, Ladybug, Weiss, Monochrome, Blake with Blake, Copycat. I like that they went the extra effort to include, like, self-shipping. That's funny. Bumblebee, Blake with Jean, Dark Knight, Nora, Thundercats, Hera, Purra, could have been better. Ren, Ninjas of Love, that's a good one. Coco, Dark Chocolate, that's a good one. Fox, Predators, I get it, because cats and foxes are predators. Not amazing, though. Velvet, Black Velvet, boring. Yatsuhashi, Catnip, boring. Carden, Cat Caught the Carden, horrible. Let's skip some of these lamer characters. Skip. Penny. Combat Kitty, terrible. No, yeah. The Oscar, there we go. Deadly Nightshade. That's Blake X Oscar's ship name. Deadly Nightshade? Why? That's horrible. RWBY's ship chart. Sometimes you need to do better. Oh, the stupid space vagina. My god, it just looks so bad. It's so bad. This whole plot point was so horrible. A part of me really wants to do, like, a deep dive into Yang as a character. Because this plot point's so bad. Like, she just gets what she wants. They didn't need to earn it, and it infuriates me. It infuriates me so much, because, like, this could have been cool. Raven could have, like, tasked them with something. Like a fight. Like if you can, like, land a single hit on me, I'll let you go, because I don't think you're strong enough to keep up with a mighty bandit like me, and then they could have had a cool fight or something. But no, they don't. Known by its song. Lame, horrible, terrible. This is volume 4. This is right before Blake starts slapping her friends around. Stay hydrated, everybody. Oh. Punished. Nope. Much needed talk. I was almost wrong. Much needed talk. There we go. This is not the apathy episode. It's right before. This is when they enter Brunswick Farm. Coming storm. Yes. Yes. No! What was it? So that's how it is. Man! Oh wait, I was in volume 6. No, yeah. So that's how it is. Hold on. Let me see. So that's how it is. Man! That sucks. Goofed that one up. Oh well. Let's see. Part 2? Part 1. No. This is when they land. It's part 1. There we go. Ha 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 ha. Nice. This is cumulonimbus clouds. Another one where, like, I don't know why the writers are allergic to having all the characters learn all the information at the same time as each other. Like, they realize they goofed up by having Pyrrha learn something, then she dies, and then everyone else needs to learn about it. But because Team RWBY are split up, that means Weiss and Yang need to learn about it, and then later Blake presumably learned about all of it off screen. That would be hilarious if she didn't. If it's like, it's similar to, like, that theory that Frodo doesn't know Legolas's name, because, like, he never says it, and they don't talk to each other, except for when they, like, form the Fellowship. And at the end, when, like, Frodo's naming off everybody who enters the room to, like, see him now that he's, like, awake and alive and everything, and he's, like, naming off everyone, Legolas enters the room, and he doesn't say, like, he said everyone else's names except Legolas. And I don't think it's true, but I love the theory that Frodo just does not know. Like, he recognizes Legolas, but he never really learned his name. That's hilarious. What are other Oscar ship names? Let's look them up. Let's see. Oscar. Oscar with RWBY, Rose Garden. Oscar with Weiss is Snow Pines. Oscar with Yang, Summer Sun Harvest. See, so many of them have to be, like, so long. If Summer Sun Harvest, that's not a ship name, that's a poem. Let's see. I don't know what order everybody's in. It's not always a great ship chart. Like, for what it is, they've done a pretty good job. Oscar X Jean is Compost King? That's horrible. Oscar and Nora's Valhalla. Why? Oscar and Pyrrha is Buried Deep. Oscar and Ren is Lotus Garden. Like, a lot of them, like, try to, like, lean into, like, the farm gimmick. Not great. Really not great. Anyway, this is the Dread in the Air. Boom, bam. This is a Blake character short where she doesn't get to do anything. That's another one. I've been thinking about doing a deep dive into Blake and Yang because, like, Blake is fascinating as a character, and, like, the development or anti-development she's gone through over the years, where Yang is fascinating because she's a horrible hypocrite. And so I think, like, doing a deep dive into either of them would be a lot of fun. But I also want to do a deep dive with Weiss, but not about her character, about her color palette. And, like, the replacement of white with blue, and how even if that was something they were, like, intentionally trying to do for her character, they still didn't do it right. So, yeah. Basically, I would love to talk about any of the three RWBY girls who aren't RWBY, because there's just nothing to say about Ruby Rose. Doesn't matter that she's kind of interesting nowadays. She isn't, there's just nothing to say. Oh, which one is this one? It's Before Creation. Risk. Because trust is a risk. That's a thing Weiss says in the episode. When, like, Emerald is like, okay, I think I'm ready to be a good guy now. And they're all sitting there. And then they're like, yeah, I guess we should, like, trust you. You helped Penny not fly away. Which, for all we know, could have been, like a selfishly done thing. Like, maybe she still wants Penny for, like, other reasons. For, like, helping Cinder, but they don't know that. But anyway, she helps that briefly. Like, it was such a non-issue. And then Emerald's like, can I be a good guy? And they're like, you know what, trust is a risk, you know? Because we trusted Ironwood, and he trusted us, and then we betrayed him. So it's risky to trust people. They try so hard sometimes to be, like, profound, and I know they're really trying, and that's what makes it suck more, is that they're really trying, but every time they try to have a character be, like, profound and deep and whatever, like, a lot of speeches, a lot of Ty's stupid speeches from Volume 4, it's just, it's actually just like, alright, this is kind of, like, not good, though. It's a lot of lame fluff, poetry, empty words, crazy. Alrighty, this is Destiny. This is Destiny? Yeah. Yeah. This is PvP, right after Destiny. Bam. Boom. This is the first episode of Volume 2. I will say, as much as a bummer it was losing Torchwick as a villain, I think Emerald and Mercury are great additions as villains. You know? Oh, man. It's Volume 6. I hate this. Oh, I hate this. It's such a nitpick dumb thing, but I hate it so dang much. I hate that they just got earpieces. They got Marvel-ass earpieces off-screen out of nowhere. And it's dumb because, like, you can clearly see the characters don't have things in their ears, which makes it even dumber. They just are just holding their ears like dumb people. Like, I hate that. I hate it I think it is so goofy. I think it is so silly. It just takes me out of these episodes because it's so sudden and silly. And like they show that they're doing, it's just they're making a phone call with each other. But also, sometimes people arbitrarily slap their greasy little fingers up onto their ears to talk, and I hate it. Clearly they watched Marvel movies. They liked the earpiece thing, and they just do what they always do. They just copy the stuff they see because they think it looks cool. Black. Parfait predicament. Okay, I like this place. I like this location. I think it's cool. I wish we saw more of it, though. You know? Like, it feels so intricate. I feel like there should have been more going on here. So, but whatever. A lot of concept art. There's like concept art of other places that they thought about going to in Volume 9. And I'll be honest, I feel like we really got shafted. I think we really got the short end of the stick because all the other concept art places that we never ended up seeing looked amazing. But probably would have taken too long to model and animate. So we got stuck with the forest, like the jungle forest or whatever. Oh man. What is this one? Runaways and stowaways. Ugh. Group shots. I just think about how long it took to just get all the models in there, you know? Again, that thing, the background just doesn't feel like it matches any of these characters. You know? This feels like the background to a different, like, game. like when you see VR chat, and, like, the character models clearly don't, like, are all different, and the background is a completely different thing than what the character models are. That's what this feels like. Insane. It's insane because it had such a specific style in the beginning. You know? Like, the start of RWBY, volumes 1 through 3, not even 3, it's mostly volume 1. They had, like, a style. And they just slowly kind of got rid of them over the years. Oh, man. This one's gonna trip me up, I think. He's turning off the heat, obviously. When exactly does he do that? Is it at the end of Cordially Invited? I think it is. Haha! I'm amazing. The chest ones are so easy. And, like, there's a lot of great screenshots from the chest one. So I understand. Nice. That's the last episode of Volume 7. Boom. Oh, that's dread in the air. You can tell, because that's the, like, beat-up airship Weiss is in, and those are Lancer Stingers. Ha 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 ha. Dread... Volume 5. Dread in the air. Thanks, Teddy Bear Paladin. Spooky Mage. If you wish to undo the curse of Smurples, you must venture into Mage Intern. Cure's right here. Come on, boss. It's 10 past closing. Spooky Mage. Fine. Kids today. No respect. What a great character dynamic. Spooky Mage trying to be like grand, and their underpaid intern who, like, hasn't had enough time to do this to, like, care enough. Thank you so much. Let me heart your comment. Nice. Alrighty, this is the right before the funky fight in Volume 3. Never miss a beat. Boom. Oh. This is, what a crazy screenshot to go with. This is when, like, Ozpin runs at RWBY, which I understand, okay. It made for a very thrilling climax for the episode, I will admit. It's like I'm on the edge of my seat every time it happens. But also, I don't know why he wanted to stop RWBY. I mean, I guess they do punch him afterwards. It just seemed so, like, violent. So extreme for what Ozpin seems to be willing to do and is capable of, you know? Thanks, Cursed Knight, who came up with the Oscar shipping names. I find Blake odd as of now, and I still think Adam being an abuser when he's a faunus gross on Kruby's part. Okay. A lot of different thoughts throwing around in that one. I don't know who comes up with the shipping names. I bet I bet there's like a couple of people who like kind of come up with a lot of them, you know? Just like, oh, what's a good pun we can land on? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they just like see things on Reddit and sees which ones are popular. Still think Adam being an abuser when he's a faunus is gross on Kirby's part. I think it was definitely a misstep. Like, he could have been, like, he didn't need to be abusive, you know? I understand. I think the biggest thing is we don't see any other kind of faunus working for faunus rights or fighting for faunus rights is the biggest thing. Like, Adam's the poster child of fighting for faunus equality. No one else seems to be compelled to do so, and he's also a horrible character. Like, a horrible person, you know? Which really undermines the, like, point of faunus equality. Oh, RWBY. Made so many goof mistakes. Oh, dang, this is volume 7. Oh. Is it as above, so below, or out in the open? I think it's out in the open. Nice. Volume 2. Early volume 2. Episode 3, I think. Yeah. Yeah. God, that was such a pretty outfit for Yang. She's so pretty. She is so pretty. Sometimes I see people being like, it's dumb when people say Yang should wear more yellow. Because her hair is already so yellow. She would just be overwhelmingly yellow. And not only is there, like, a million, like, magical girl characters alone whose primary color palette is yellow, that proves that entire concept wrong, but also, Yang's best outfit was that one from Volume 2 during the Paladin episodes, and it's all this nice, beautiful, soft yellow, and it's gorgeous, and it's beautiful on her. So I don't know what they're talking about, they're wrong. This is the last episode of Volume 8. It's crazy. I do like this part. This is when Atlas becomes Atlantis, and the music is so pretty. I love the music choice. They really stepped up their music, like, post-Volume 5. Like, they got so good. They got so good with their music, and they get better and better and better, I'm gonna say. Did I hit it? Did I do it? There we go. Oh. Fascinating screenshot. It's Witch. It's Witch. That's Oscar. That's Oscar. This is the whale. Salem's in there somewhere. Cool. This is the dance. Dance infiltration. Nice. This is Volume 1. The Stray. Nice. Her ears were so purple back in the day. Like, you could really tell that they were just kind of like extra things glued onto her head. Thought Casey Williams has left RWBY and its music now? No. Jeff Williams left during Volume 9. But Casey Williams, like, took over. Okay Goodnight, which is the band Casey's in, they took over and did all the music for Volume 9. And they seem like they're still, like, I think they would still want to work with RWBY. They haven't said otherwise, but they still seem, like, invested in their RWBY music, so I don't think so. I don't think Casey's leaving, but I am unsure. Also, the whole future of RWBY as a whole is kind of unsure right now. So, it's kind of all speculative at this point. Which, I don't know about you. It's a bit of a pipe dream, I'll admit. Hold on. Relic. I made a Yang design with yellow pants and yellow jacket, and people told me it looked great. That sounds great. Yang in pants sounds like a great idea. I'm not huge in the boiler suit they put her in for volumes 7, 8, and 9. It's fine, I suppose. But I think just pants would have been fine. I think she would look cool in pants and boots. honestly. And the boots don't need to go over the pants. She can just be like a cool, I want her to be a cowboy. That's what I want. I want her to be a cool, beautiful cowboy. Anyway, like I was saying, why is Hazel not Hercules in RWBY? Because he's Hansel from Hansel and Gretel. I think Hercules, I was mentioning this last time, how there's some fairy tales I'm absolutely amazed haven't been turned into RWBY characters by this point. And Hercules is definitely up there as one of them. Me too, gave her cowboy boots. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, anyway, my pipe dream. I'm kinda hoping they announce something on RWBY's birthday, which is, it's Halloween, October 31st. I hope. I'm hopeful. I want it. I want it to be. I'm not sure if it'll happen. It might still be too soon production-wise. That's the thing that kills me. I know these things take time. I know it takes a while for these things to happen. But man, I'm on pins and needles. I want to know. That's the thing. Like, even if it's like, we're working on volume 10, but it won't be done until like 2026. At least we'll know that something's in the works. That's what's really killing me. I just want to, like, I want to know that it is happening, because this, like, living in limbo thing is just killing me. Hold on, let me just get this episode real quick. It's Heroes and Monsters, I believe. Thanks, Leo! Just want to share some thanks and love for what you do. Aww! Aww! Thank you! Let me heart your comment. Bam! Hearted it. Thank you, I appreciate you. You're cool. Thank you. Hazel also has shades of Frankenstein's monster. His weapon should be a dust injection collar, resembling neck bolts. Oh my god, that is such a good idea. And especially would have worked because I thought Watts was Frankenstein, like Dr. Frankenstein. When we first got introduced to him, I thought he was Dr. Frankenstein because he has, like, the name Watts. I was like wattage, and he's a doctor. He's a disgraced doctor. And I'm like, haha, of course, he's Dr. Frank, and he does, like, the building thing. Like, he does, like, part removal. Like he builds Tyrion a new limb and stuff. I'm like, haha, yes, it's Dr. Frankenstein. Only instead of creating new life, he creates new life with robots. And he kind of does, because he worked on the Penny Project. Everything about him feels like it's coded to be Dr. Frankenstein, but no! He's Watson. If from Sherlock Holmes, he's Dr. Watson if Dr. Watson was bad. It's so stupid. They had it all lined up. They could have lied. Even if their original plan was that he was Watson, there's not a single stupid thing about his character that lines up with that concept. They don't play around with that concept at all. They could have lied and just be like, you know what, originally he was gonna be Watson, but actually now we're just gonna say he's, like, Frankenstein. But no! And it is very annoying, and I hate it, and it's stupid. They do that. I really wish they leaned into the fairy tale allusions more. Because, like, that could be so creative. That's part of the fun. That's part of what makes, like, Carden being Jean's bully so interesting. Is that, like, it's directly based off of the inspiration of Henry, the Cardinal of Winchester, who's the dude who, like, was one of the most prominent elements of Joan of Arc going to trial. And, like, Jean is based on Joan of Arc. It makes sense. There's so many smart little details with that whole thing, and it's like, that's cool, because they're directly inspired off of each other, because we're leaning into this fairy tale concept, and I was like, and then they'll do that more, and then they didn't, and then it annoys me, because it could be so cool. Thanks again, Curse Knight. Yang in a cowgirl plus ranger fit for Vacuo sounds nice. That's another thing I'm dying for. I agree with you. I want to see, we got that, like, teaser of a concept of them in Vacuo, and I'm like, I want to talk about your outfits, but I can't see your outfits. I want to see what you have. Show me your outfit. I want to know if you look pretty. So, yeah, I hope we get something soon. I'm hoping it'll be on October 31st, just because that's Ruby's birthday, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. But a girl can dream. This is the second episode of Volume 8. Refuge. It's just, no, it's not. No, it isn't. It isn't. It's strings. Hold on. It's strings. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Almost. Oh, man. Oh, no. This is Watts turning off. Watts is turning off the cameras. Oh, no. But which episode is it? It's volume 7. Is it... Is it a new approach? Or is it Ace Operatives? At the end of Ace Operatives, that's when Tyrion kills the guy. Or is it at the end of Pomp and Circumstance he kills the guy? I think it's a new approach. Let's do it. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! I'm proud of myself. This is Necessary Sacrifice. Somewhere. There it is. Nice. This is Volume 7. It's when they're killing everything. Out in the open. Boom! This was a cool fight. I liked this. This was fun. I wish they did stuff like this more, where the two characters have to, like, stop and talk to each other and be like, how do we fix this? Just little things. Just having the characters, it's so crazy. They know the characters should talk to each other, but they don't know that they should be talking about, like, from a character perspective, not a textbook perspective. Crazy. Crazy! This is the Stray. Boom. Ugh. We're almost here with my daily reviews. We're almost here. And Downfall. So silly. Blake running over to see what they're doing, to run back over to do what she was just doing with Adam, to run back over to her teammates to see what they're doing again. It's silly. Shining Beacon Part 2. No. I knew I got that wrong. First step. I knew I got that wrong as soon as I hit submit. Man, whoops. Okay, alright. This moment infuriates me. A mother's promise. This symbolizes a mother's promise. No one thought this came from Summer Rose. No one even thought this, like, little trinket hanging on Ruby's belt mattered at all. Because none of them has ever, like, mentioned their emblems before. Except for the Schnee family emblem is, like, slapped on a bunch of Schnee stuff. But no one ever mentions their emblems. To the point where a lot of them don't even wear their emblems or anything like that. So we just, like, assumed this was just a thing marketing-wise, you know, for the show. You know, she wears this, we make buttons and stickers out of this, and other merch stuff. But it's just a thing that's on Ruby's outfit because everyone wears their emblems. And so for her to pull this off and be like, this symbolizes a mother's promise, because Summer apparently gave this to her, it annoys me, because this was hot off the heels of me being like, I thought it was weird when Ruby just replaces her hood at, like, the start of Volume 7. She just gets a new hood. Because I just assumed the old one had sentimental value to her. Like, maybe it was a gift from Summer. And a bunch of people were like, that makes no sense. They've never hinted to that before. They've never alluded to this ever, and that's dumb of you to even think that. And then they pull this bullshit out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, well, my thing at least makes kind of sense. Summer wears a hood. I wouldn't be surprised if she also gave her daughter a hood. There's people like, why do you think it's Summer's hood just like drenched in blood? No, I think she just could have given her daughter a stupid cape because she wears one herself. No one would have said, if you asked anyone at any point in time throughout volumes 1 through 8, if this was from Summer Rose, I don't think anyone would have been like, yeah, totally. They'd be like, I don't know, maybe, but I think it's a stretch. So for them to pull, infuriating. It infuriates me, and everyone was so dismissive of my incredibly reasonable headcanon. Blah. Whatever. Oh, this is the parfait predicament again. Bam, boom. Aww. Alright. This is before the dance, but just before. Burning the candle. We're on the funny number. Ha 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 ha. This is one we got wrong before, because I was rushing. It's the cat most curious. The only episode that, like, isn't named after what they really do, because they do the stuff with, like, the herbalist. So, but I guess they do talk to the cat officially in this one. Meh. It's not what I think about when I think of the episode. This is episode 2, Dread in the Air, from volume 5. Boom. Bam. What a screenshot. Out of context, what a crazy screenshot. This is the first episode of volume 9. I remember, because it was just like that teaser that we got, and they didn't change anything. Like, it's literally the exact same teaser. They just staple it at the beginning of the episode. A bad episode. Bam. This is True Colors. A good episode title. I wish they played with the concept more, because, you know, Ilya in general doesn't do her color changing gimmick a lot, and I wish she played around with it a lot more, I'll be honest. Like the moments she has changed her colors has been so standout that I wish we got to see it much more often. Great screenshot. 10 out of 10. Hilarious. Let's see. This is... Okay, so first step, they fly. Second step, they land. Emerald Forest, they fight the wolves. I think? Haha! That's Adam's character short. Boom. Volume 9 bonus ending animatic. Nope, that's the wrong one. I didn't know that's in here. Crazy. This is volume 6. It's like episode 4 or something? 3 or 4? So that's how it is. Yeah. So that's how it is. Yeah? Yeah. I think... Yeah, I think so. No, I was wrong. The Coming Storm. So close. So dang close. And I think this is similar. I think this one's also similar. I might lose it all here. Might be the end. So that's how it is, the Coming Storm. I think it's the... No, I think this is So That's How It Is. And then the Coming Storm is when they're, like, walking around Brunswick Farm, but this is when they first enter Brunswick Farm. Oh, let's try. Ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha! Nice. Volume 7, Episode 2. Yes. Yup. This is Forever Fall Part 1. Part 1. Boom. Thanks again, JK. Hey, Critter. Between Neptune, Adam, Hazel, and whiny Jean from volumes 4 through 6, who annoys you the most? Forget who's written worse, who personally bugs you? Wow. Neptune, Adam, Hazel, and whiny Jean from 4 through 6. Okay. Jean, definitely, because there's so much of him. It's because he's so prominent, it's harder to ignore him. I'll go with Neptune second, because even though he's barely in it, my hatred for Neptune is stronger than his limited screen time. Adam can, like, he toes the line between being annoying and being funny, so he's tolerable. I can tolerate Adam. And I think Hazel's fine. I think he's just, like, a missed opportunity. You know, like Hazel doesn't annoy me, the stuff around Hazel. The circumstances the writers decided upon for his character and his backstory is what annoying. But Hazel himself is fine. So yeah, that's my lineup. And that lineup doesn't change. Like, outside of 4 through 6, like, that stays true throughout the whole show. I know, my hatred for Neptune. Like, some people with reversed fates is like, is Neptune gonna show up? And I'm like, well, I've been thinking about Sage and Scarlet. If Neptune shows up, it's probably gonna be in an awfully limited role, I'll be honest. I just don't like him. But we'll see. I have plans for other characters I don't like Robin. I have a great idea for Robin. I can't wait. You won't see her for a long time, though. So, I won't talk too much about my ideas, but it'll be a while till we get there. Oh, what is this? Heroes and Monsters. Boom. Bam. This is a good one. Badge and Burden Part 2. Boom. It's such a cute moment between them, also. Them just, like having their coffee and seeing Ruby's giant book of notes she's writing. It's cute. It's cute. The show can be so cute sometimes. This is, I think, the last episode of Volume 7. The Enemy of Trust. This is when we first see her, like, new outfit, you know? And a lot of people didn't realize the outfit was new. I feel nothing for Neptune. He honestly took screen time that could have developed Cardin or something. I also, like, I get it. We introduced Sun, so he has to have a whole team of 3 other people, right? But, like, he does feel like a complete waste. All of them. And it's, like, a shame because, like, conceptually I like Sage, and design-wise well, both of them. Sage and Scarlet. And then, like, design-wise I like Sage and Scarlet. But, just what was the point? Why did we even bother? This is not creation, but it's almost creation. Is it worthy? Or is it creation? Is it the very end of creation? Oh, I think it's the very end of creation. Yeah. Ha 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 ha! This is extracurricular. Boom. Bam. This is, Lost. This is when Oscar went away off-screen and got his off-screen development. Because that was an idea that they thought was a good one. Okay, so this episode, I mentioned it in my review. Like, I have a thing on screen, in my review, my daily review that just came up, like, I think it was yesterday or the day before. Just recently. It just happened. It's when they're yelling at Raven, and they're, like, not really talking to each other, you know? There's a shot, and it blows my mind. It's, like, the camera's behind a pole. Like, it's as if we're, like, someone, like, spying on them behind a pole outside the room with, like, a piece of the tent also obscuring. You can't see anyone's faces. Like, Raven is behind the pole entirely. You can't see Raven. And the, like, tent that's also in the way is obscuring like half of Yang, and then the pole is also obscuring like half of Weiss. And I know they were like trying to do something with the camera to trick themselves into thinking something was happening in the scene because the characters weren't moving around. But of all of the things, I can't think of why anybody would just have a shot as horrible as that one, where every character is obscured by these giant ugly pole and like a tent texture that's in the way. Like, at least have the camera like pan across something, like their tea mugs, or like something in Raven's tent. We already had it pan across the map behind her. I don't understand. I don't understand why someone thought that was a good idea. I don't understand why, as they were filming it / animating it, they're like, yes, this is great. I don't understand how someone in a higher up position looked at that and went, yeah, this makes sense. This is a good one to have in our cartoon. Crazy. Actually insane. Like, there's so many insane bad shots in RWBY, but at least, like, things are on the screen. This one's so bonkers. It's so bonkers. Oh, man. This is, after The Lost Fable, where they get so mad at him for no reason. They do that so often, where they're like, we should be mad at this person. But it's like, but why? I think he was a victim in the whole thing, personally. I think both Ozma and Salem are victims. And so I think it is unreasonable to be mad at either of them because of the circumstances that they went through. I think Salem is someone you should be mad at. She has decided to, like... But you can't blame her. She wanted to die. This is all the Brother God's fault. The whole story. The problem with the whole of the show. The plot exists because two men got mad at a woman because she wanted to be with the person she loved. And then they, like, got mad at her for it. Crazy. Insane, actually. Painting the Town. It's a good episode. Forever Fall Part 1. Boom. Bam. This is PvP? I think? No. It's right before. Destiny. No. Fall. It's Fall. Yep. This is Creation. Boom. Creation. Did I click it? Sometimes my mouse doesn't work, and I don't know if like my computer's loading or if my mouse just didn't do what it was supposed to do. This is the last episode of Volume 9. Insane. I can't believe this was what it was all for. We didn't need this. No, I don't think anyone wanted this. I don't understand. There's so many things. I still think about it. Of all the things that, like, sticks with me the most, Volume 9's existence is the one that pops up in my mind the most often. Because I don't understand why. This was not necessary, or important, or worthwhile, or entertaining. It wouldn't convince new people to watch the show. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. And, like, it's one of these things where it's like, I'm kind of in limbo with it, because I can't know the extent of how much all this will matter until we see what the future of RWBY is. But man, it's a weird one. It's a weird one that just sticks with me. Adam's such a nerd. He's such a loser. He's such a great big loser. Oh man. Oh no. What is this? Oh. Golly gee. Which one is this? I think, are they rioting? I think they're rioting. Oh, man. Are they rioting? But why? Which... Is it because the heat got turned off? It looks like the heat's still on. So... It would be after Weiss and Winter see Freya. And then Jacques has his, like, announcement that he's gonna screw everybody over, and then everyone starts, like, rioting and stuff. I think that's when this is. It's hard to tell. You think it's chapter 1? You think this is, like... The thing is, I don't remember seeing, like, soldiers here, you know? Oh, man. I'm gonna... You might be right, but you know what? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess Sparks. Oh my goodness, I thought for sure I was wrong. I trusted you stereotypes so much, I had no faith in myself. Crazy. Alright. This is volume 2. This is... Mountain Glen? Yeah. Mountain Glen. Yeah. Yeah. I think this is also Mountain Glen. No. Oh, Search and Destroy or Mountain Glen. I think it's Mountain Glen. I think it's Mountain Glen again. Dang, it was Search and Destroy. Oh well, we went pretty far. 94, almost to 100. Thanks, so many people. Thanks, Ranger. My awful prediction about the gods in Volume 9, RWBY ends with the brother gods getting turned into cute animals and gets instantly forgiven. I'm bummed because you're probably right. Like, there's a huge chance that you are right, that they will be forgiven. Because they'll be, after everything, after seeing our heroes make wars and fight with people so much, the lesson they'll try to preach at the end of the whole thing will be like, and then we learn the power of friendship, and you need to forgive. Okay. And thank you, Curse Knight. They got mad at Osmond because how can we trust you if you don't trust us? Friends don't lie to each other because we don't need to manipulate love. You're not wrong. They don't lie to each other except when they do. I have the hiccups. Except when RWBY lies. Like Team RWBY lies. It's very, like there's a reason for it. It's because they didn't know if they could trust you yet. It was fine when we did it. The fact that they were such hypocrites. And I thought they were doing something. I thought the writers were doing something with that notion. The hypocrisy of Team RWBY lying to Ironwood after they just openly talked about how, like, Ozpin was a bad guy for lying so much to them. I thought for sure they were doing something, and then they didn't. Oh well. Alrighty. So yeah, that was this. That was the RWBYGuesser. Great time. Grand time. Lots of fun. Yes, by Protector of Mantle on Twitter. I linked to their tweet having it in the description. So make sure you go, check out the tweet in the description, give it a like, tell Protector of Mantle how cool they are for coming up with this, because this is very cool. Try it yourself. Have a grand old time. It's so much fun. I love it. So yeah, great stuff. Super fun. Next week, we're going back to Fire Emblem. And we'll do some more Fire Emblem stuff. And yeah, it'll be great. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you everyone who gave, like, super chats. That's so cool of you. You're all so cool and kind, and I appreciate you so much. Oh, thank you! Speaking of, JK, thank you. That's a fair critique on 9. What makes it cool for me are Ruby's arc, Torchwood cameo, the cat and RWBY, the cat and Team RWBY fighting as a team, which put it above 8 and 5 for me. But agree, it needed to move the story. Yeah, like, there are really good elements to it. I do agree. There's a lot to Volume 9 that I think is cool, but it's just so, like, the weird part is how disconnected it is from the show proper, the plot proper. So, but yeah, hopefully, like, we get more soon. Like I said, pipe dream, maybe they'll announce something on Ruby's birthday. We'll see. More daily RWBY episodes coming out. We're almost done. That was only, like, 6 episodes left. Crazy. Nope, 5, because there wasn't enough to fill the last day of October. I remember that. So yeah, have fun. Thanks everyone for showing up. Thank you everyone for the super chats. I appreciate you so much. You're very, very cool. And yeah, I'll see you next time with more fun stuff. Stay hydrated, be safe. Thanks. Bye-bye.